MultiVersus, the revival of MultiVersus following its almost year hiatus after closing their beta. We're not gonna have a big trailer for you. They released a trailer of everything they changed and everything like that. But I think it'd be fun to show the Joker trailer, Dave. You gotta admit he looks pretty cool, right?
He looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm not a big fan of these types of games. But yeah, the Joker looks pretty cool in the trailer. I'm not gonna lie. I think they did a pretty decent job.
Did you hear the voice they used?
I did hear the voice that they used.
So that's pretty exciting, huh? All right, so here's the trailer. Like I said, it's just a trailer of the Joker and its gameplay as a revealed character. I loved MultiVersus when it first came out. So if you don't know what it is, if you haven't been able to play it at all, essentially it is a platform fighter with all Warner Brothers IPs, characters, and this is the announcement of the Joker, which just came out today at the filming of this video, or yesterday. One of the two. But yeah, I think the Joker looks really good.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think he looks really good. If you guys are just listening, they definitely went for the animated series style Joker, maybe like a mix of the animated series Joker and like a Batman Beyond, but way more heavy towards the animated Joker side of things. And I think it looks really good. I have so many questions. So honestly, if you guys are just listening, this is essentially Smash Brothers. With
Warner
Brothers characters, which is fine to me. But what makes round 2 any different, if we're gonna be honest here?
So there's a lot changed in terms of like the groundwork of the game. So we can go ahead and kind of dive into that. But I'm excited for this game. I put many hours into this during the beta, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. I got a little too competitive, so I had to bring myself out of it because I was getting angry as I played. But some big changes to it. So this game is coming out May 28th. It's made by Player First Games, which I think this is their only title that they've made. It's a free-to-play, cross-platform platform fighter. And like I said, it was in beta from July 22 to June 2023. And then just kind of went radio silent. And the reason why I went radio silent is there was a lot that they were doing on the back end of changing the game to really make it better, I guess, because they were starting to go down a hole that we're losing fans, losing players. And I think they realized that, and they're like, okay, we have to change a lot of things. And so a lot of those big changes, one is they switched it from whatever they were using. I don't know what it was or they switched it to Unreal Engine 5. So visually, the game's supposed to look better and play a bit better, which is really good. Next is a huge change that they made because they were having a lot of issues, like server issues. So like it used to be like server based, which would like if the server is farther away from you, the more lag you had, and like trying to play a fighter game with lag, it's kind of impossible because like input delay and things like that. So they changed the netcode, which is called rollback netcode, and I have no idea what any of this means, but it's called a rollback netcode. So this means like there's going to be less lag, and no matter like your latency. So like it's going to have like quick input no matter what, which is really good. I think that's huge for a game like this, because if you're doing an online multiplayer fighter game, if you're always delayed and fighting, you're always going to lose, or you're never going to have a good experience. And they showed some videos of like what it was in the past and what they changed it to, and it looks good.
It's definitely essential. I mean, this update is definitely essential for an online multiplayer. I mean, here's my number one question before we get too far into it. Are you excited to jump back into this?
Heck yeah. I was sad that they got rid of it.
All right, okay. Are you really? Do you think that you are the majority?
I think there's a good 50-50 split.
Because I think one of the things that this game had that was a huge problem is that the game itself was very focused on the monetization of the game and the grindiness of the game. And I think the grindiness of the game is a huger problem than people think, because I don't know when you're burnt out on something, it's really hard to get that love and that passion and that want back, right? And I think it doesn't I think it's like almost a little too late. Like it's too little too late. I think that a lot of the original players are just so like burnt out from the grind of the first session that I don't know if they're even interested in coming back.
And so that was one of the big things that they've actually kind of talked about, and like, hey, we realized that it was too grindy and things like that. And for me, like, I'm gonna come back to it to test it. And if it's truly still gonna be grindy and it's gonna have all this microtransaction, pay to win elements, then yeah, I'm gonna lose interest very quick. But I think that they don't. I feel like this developer really wants to keep a player base. Where I think maybe Warner Brothers isn't as worried, but I think that MultiVersus, what changes they're implementing, will bring in good change and reduce the amount of play to win or pay to win and the microtransactions, especially. So the battle pass used to be like there wasn't two tiers, you know what I mean? It was either no battle pass or you had to pay for it. At least from what I remember. And so now they'll have two versions. So like I feel like there's gonna be a lot of optional things. And from what the developer said is, yes, like you can buy Glinium to buy your characters, but you can still work to get those. And what lost a lot of people in the beta was the Glinium or the XP was so slow to get. And so that's what, like you said, it was too grindy. But I think also to that fact is it was very limited in the modes that it had. It only had like 1v1s and 2v2s, and then I think there's like an arcade like fighter mode or free for all or something like that. Well, they're adding PvE modes, so grant additional rewards, additional XP. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm guessing it's gonna be like like Gauntlet, where like many characters come in, you have to beat them, things like that. They're gonna have another 2v1 or like PvP wise, they're gonna have 2v1 handicap mode. So like, who knows? Maybe like one character or the person that has one gets 10 lives and the two get 3 each. I don't know how that's gonna work. And so I think they're trying to come up with different ways to earn rewards rather than the same two modes over and over and over. But I don't know, and that's a big question for a lot of people. And I think some other really cool things about it is for the re-release, they're letting you keep everything in terms of like your cosmetics and everything that you earned during the beta, which is really nice.
That's cool. That's nice of them.
They're also adding cross-platform and cross-progression, if that makes sense. So
Cross progression.
so I could jump on my Xbox to my PC to my PlayStation to whatever I'm playing and it always be in that spot.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
It's really nice. And because I would always like, I want to play, I don't know if it was on the Switch, but like, I would always want to take my Xbox with me on the go because I played on my PC and like, I was like, well, I already put too many hours on my PC. I'm not going to start over. So is it going to be monetized? I sure hope not. Based off what I'm seeing is and how much negative feedback they got from it, I don't know if they will. And they haven't shown anything about. So there used to be paid versions of the game. Like you can buy the version of the game and you get all the Glinium and all this. They haven't announced any of that for this go around, which is, I think, either they're really hiding it and being shady about it, or they're not going to do it again because of how much hate they got.
I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're being shady about it, but I think there has to be just a general expectation that like this is a free to play game and they're going to have to make money on it somehow. You know what I mean? And I'm not really sure. Not really sure in a game like this how you can not monetize winning and make enough money to make this worth it. Like I just don't understand. Like I don't think they're gonna be able to sell enough skins to make this worth it. They have to make it a pay to win at some point. I just feel like they have to.
I think the pay to win is where you'll be able to like you buy your characters up front and with the Glinium that you can buy with real money, or like it's gonna be a grind to get these characters. Or not a grind, it's gonna be faster, but if you want them like right then and right now, you're gonna have to like pay for the characters.
And is there like a ranking system like in Street Fighter? Is there like a ranking system where you rank online and stuff? So like I mean that's I don't know. The whole situation just kind of sucks, right? Because if you go in there with no money, and you're trying to get your online rank up. Well, it's like somebody just came in there and dropped $100 and got like the best character that's fully maxed out.
So there's no maxing out. Like every character, it's like Super Smash Bros. It's the same. Like the characters don't level up.
Ah,
I love these games though. And then like one example I have is like Brawlhalla. They do the stuff like this, or they add a bunch of characters, and like you don't need to pay for the characters and still have a fun time.
what happened to the Nickelodeon game like this?
I just hated that one.
But like, what's the player base now? Do you even know what the player base is now?
I don't know.
It feels like it's gonna be the same, like the same as it always is. I I hate to be a glass half empty kind of guy, but like, it just feels like it's gonna be. I don't know. I feel like they're promising a lot, and I think it's gonna be the same. I don't think there's gonna be changes.
I do.
You do think there's gonna be changes?
This developer cares more about their players than like they care to make a good game. I don't think they're a developer. It's like, we release garbage. They're not a Rocksteady Suicide Squad.
Wow.
I don't think they're trying to release junk, and I don't think they're trying to release a game where people don't want to play because of all the grindiness. Like I think they realize their mistakes and like, okay, we gotta shut it down and like fix these mistakes. And like you said, is it too late? It's hard to say until the game's released. And I think you're gonna see a huge spike of character or players, but if it turns out to be grindy, you're gonna see that spike right back down. But it's hard to say until the game's released. I'm excited. I've seen a lot of other people excited about it, especially with all the new characters they're gonna release and leaked characters and all that. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I wish it all the best. I don't ever wish a game to fail. I say it all the time. I don't ever wish a game to fail. I just from what I've been seeing on and comments and things like that, it's a pretty 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Of people that are excited for the game to come back and people that were just like, I've been so done with this game. Like I'm just done and just not interested. So already right there, it's like half the people that were interested before are no longer interested. Now you're gonna bring the other 50% of those players back. You have to make all 50% of those players happy. I don't like that's impossible. You're never going to make everybody that plays the game happy. So you're going to lose another chunk of the audience there. You're going to lose chunks of audiences that aren't going to pay for anything. And I see, exactly like you said, I see this being a spike, a huge player spike, at launch, and it just slowly dwindles itself down back to nothing. And that's kind of the end of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. This could be the next big thing. I could look totally stupid and just, this is the next thing that everybody plays. I just think they're fighting they're fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be really, really hard for them. And would I love to see them pull it off? Absolutely. If I had to bet my bottom dollar on it that they're gonna do it, would I do it? No.
I'm on board. I'm on board with this game. And I think part of it is playing Nick All-Star Brawl 2, like the mechanics of that game felt so slow and clunky, and that's how the first one was really bad. Second one got a bit better, but still I felt like I could never like truly like play that game fast and like, you know what I mean? And again, this is a skill issue. A lot of people love Nick All-Star Brawl 2, but when it comes to MultiVersus, it plays fluid, it plays fast. It reminded me a lot of Super Smash Bros, which I'm not like great at it, but I could hold my own against a lot of different players, if that makes sense. Like obviously not against pros, but MultiVersus, like I found my character I was really good with and I just ran with it. With Nick All-Star Brawl 2, I couldn't find a character that I was like really good with and could just run with it. I tried all of them. I put hours into all of them, just could never really find it. And I think that's why I like MultiVersus more. And it's going to hold me because I like Super Smash Bros. And this is the closest thing I can get outside of Switch, because I don't play my Switch.
Will say I agree with you. Mechanics wise, it does look the closest to Smash Bros that I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish it all the best. I really do. If I had to bet my bottom dollar, I would not. But I am patiently awaiting to see what happens. Because honestly, I'm gonna throw it out there. I do like the WB roster more than I like the Nickelodeon roster. I'll just throw it out there. I am the WB is more my era, I would say. So yeah, I hope it does great.
A couple other things real quick, just to put it out there. I could say all the leaked characters, but you could just say Warner Brothers in general is leaked, because everybody has a leak of some sort. Scooby-Doo, or Scooby-Doo's already in it. No, he's not. Shaggy's in it. Sorry. Samurai Jack, the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter, Harry Potter, Gandalf, like anybody Warner Brothers you think about, it probably has been leaked. But is it true? I don't know. A lot of people do the data mines, all this stuff. But so there's that. Yeah, it comes out May 28th, so right around the corner, and it has the original cast plus the Joker. And I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait. I cannot wait, to be honest.
Wishing it all the best, and I will definitely check out Adam playing it because I know he's going to be playing it day one, and we will be back on the 29th with our feedback.